Bizarre Brain Comics. Hello, my comic book friends, and welcome to Bizarre Brain Comics. I am Gary, your host. This is where I like to take a look at some older comics, talk a little bit about the characters and creators, and examine the stories and the art. And a few weeks ago, I did a few videos featuring books from some books from my bookshelf, which had collapsed, and I put it back up and everything. So I showed you a few of the books from the shelves that collapsed. Well, they collapsed again, so I'm in the process of having to replace the entire shelf unit. And I thought, well, I'll just show you a few of the books that I'm taking off the top shelf. So this is It Came from the Top Shelf. And these are regular standard, mostly standard comics. But before I do that, a word from our sponsor, which is me, telling you again about my Bizarre Brain Comics anthology book. It's a comic of featuring some gags, humor, and some adventure stories for $7.99 on Amazon. That's Bizarre Brain Comics Anthology by Gary Nelson on Amazon. And I want to thank everyone out there who has told me that they have already ordered and or received theirs. Thank you so much for buying a copy. I really appreciate it. And a special shout out to another channel. It's just Evil Psymock, and which comic oriented, which is actually Comics Love spelled backwards. So check that out. And here we go. Take a little look at these books. Now, start off with the standard size reprint of Battle of the Century, Superman versus the Amazing Spider-Man, which was the first Marvel Comics and DC Comics team up crossover. And I have not been able to find it. I know I never got rid of it. Was this the standard tabloid sized version of this? This is a reprint from 1995, featuring that story. I'm glad I did get it, since I can't find the original copy that I had. And I'm wondering what happened to it. There we go. And then we have here The Force. Ooh. And it's not what it sounds like. This is, I've covered many times the Jack Chick comics. They're religious comics. And this is The Force, Alberto Part 4. 4-part storyline. Some beautiful cover painting, beautiful interior art, and really horrendous, really hateful anti-Catholic and other hateful religious doctrine in there. Then we have here Naughty Bits number 37. It just happened to be there. This fits into a underground / alternative. This is from Fantagraphics. This would have been from the 80s, I think. Might have been from the 90s with 37, by Roberta Gregory. I'll have to do one on her sometime. I've corresponded a little bit with her way back when, and we were friends on Facebook friends, but she doesn't remember me at all, which is fine. And I haven't got any of her stuff in many years, but it's a lot of adult fun. Here we have from 2012, Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? And I don't know if I've read this one or not. If If I did, it was some time ago, and I don't remember even thumbing through it. But Scooby-Dooby-Dooby, yeah, I love Scooby-Doo. Follow that up here with from I think it was 1970, 76, 77. I've forgotten the year now. Harvey's, when Harvey was still publishing. Harvey's Spooky, the Tough Little Ghost. When I say I'll be ready right over, I mean right over. I like Spooky. Actually like Spooky better than Casper, although I like Casper. And I am not thrilled with Harvey's Richie Rich. I just, even though I used to get some once in a while, I was never really thrilled with Richie Rich. But I really like probably Spooky and Hot Stuff the best from the Harvey Kids comics. And here we go. From 1957, Walt Disney's Comics and Stories. Yeah, so I left this one in the bag. Of course, don't know who the interior artists are, whether it's Carl Barks. I imagine there's probably some Carl Barks in here. It's 1950, yeah. This is number 279. Real classic Disney stuff. Then we have more stuff. Walt Disney's Uncle Scrooge Adventures. This is from 1997, I think it was. And this is the direct edition. With this great cover. The interior art is different, but the cover, one of the reasons I got it and still have it, is because the cover is done by Don Rosa, and I just love Don Rosa. I love his work on the Ducks, especially Scrooge. Great adventure, as I've covered here a few times before. I'll follow that up with Walt Disney. This is from 92. Walt Disney's Donald and Scrooge. More Ducks. And another great Don Rosa cover. And he also did the great interior art. Unfortunately, no credits, so I don't know whether he wrote it or not. And needs some repair because this cover is coming apart. And then we follow that up with Malibu's Tarzan the Warrior. This is number 3 of 5, part of a 5-issue miniseries for the couple year period when Malibu owned the rights to Edgar Rice Burroughs' Tarzan of the Apes. And I think I have another copy in with my other Tarzan comics. But here he is. I think this is at the Earth's core in Pellucidar, up against a saber-toothed cat. And then we follow that up with, unfortunately, a coverless book of 1967, The Green Hornet. And this is tied into the TV series at the time, drawn by Dan Spiegel. Some beautiful artwork there. And this is the Bruce Lee version of the Green Hornet with Bruce Lee as Kato, and it originally had a photo cover, but not one I had. And this is the only copy from that era that I've got. So even without the cover, I hang on to that. Then we have from Deluxe Comics. You might say, who the heck is that? I don't know. This is Wallywood's Thunder Agents number 2. Now, this is not reprinting the Thunder Agents published by Tower. This was a continuation of the Thunder Agents with various creators inside, and these were all established creators. Then here we have the comic adaptation of The Time Bandits from the movie. And this is from, would have been, early 80s, I think. I've forgotten the year. Have you ever seen that movie, The Time Bandits? All these little guys traveling through time, causing troubles, and latches on with this boy. Has Sean Connery in it, and has some nice artwork inside as well. And then we finish this off with not a comic book, but this is, I'm going to need to move back a little bit to get the whole thing. This is The Captain's Log, newsletter of Oztrek, the Star Trek Fan Club, Inc., from 2002 and 2003. And this is a newsletter from Australia. And one of the interesting things about this is, well, look at that great cover illustration. Who could have done that? Well, I did that. This was a free copy. This is, and here is the certificate that came with it. It was, certificate has been awarded, yada, yada, yada. I was the winner of the black and white art category for art contest that they had. And my cover was, one of my illustrations was the cover of that issue. And the only reason I got involved in this at all is because of used to be part of a Star Trek Klingon fan club. And one of our members was an Australian lady, and she had previously been part of this fan club. So that is how I got that. And it's really just about the only picture in the issue. The rest of it is all text. So that's what I've got to show you this time. So just a few fun things from the top shelf, and I hope you enjoyed that. So and some of these they've been on that shelf waiting to be covered in a video of their own, and some still may. So thank you for joining me. Please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. Which of these books did you like best? And which ones would you like to see more thorough investigation into? And thank you for joining me. And remember, comics are art.